The Padres climb back to 500. And the offense seems to be picking up after the return of Fernando Tatis Jr. We'll talk about that on this episode of Padres Talking Padres. All right, Jack. Last week, the episode title was something to the effect of the Padres are falling flat. The offense was super stinky. And we were like, but hey, Tatis is coming back on 4/20. And maybe it's not as explosive as we thought, but things are much better than they were a week ago. We're back to 500, Jack. We're 500 baseball. But
they won 3 of 4, which is always a good thing. The surprising Diamondback. Well, they're not really surprising. I thought the Diamondbacks would finish in third. And
they closed last year really good, right? And they have a young team and really speedy. But they started the season off, really strong.
Right. And they have some good pitchers, a couple, 2 or 3 good pitchers. But, to go into Arizona, take 3 or 4 when you're really still not hitting.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, their Padres are scoring runs, but I guess that's what you want to do. I mean, I can't complain about scoring, what was the final score today? 7-5.
7-5. We were up 7-1 at one point.
Yeah, they scored 7 runs. I thought Tim Hill was in there. I go, is he in there again?
Yeah, it's like 20 games.
I said, let's don't burn him out before, May.
Yeah.
Well, that's just me. But he came in, gave up 2 big runs, but Hader was money and finished it out. But I looked at the averages. Yeah, Bogart's hitting 330.
Yep.
The next closest person is Carpenter hitting 238.
Yeah, the hitting for this team has been less than stellar, but Carpenter was one of people sub 200 before today's game, I believe.
Well, he looked good in this series. He's getting his arms extended.
Yep.
He's taking advantage of bad pitches and smacking them. So that's what you need. I mean, again, they're scoring runs. Cronenworth looked like he's slowly coming out of that slump.
Yeah.
But you have Grisham hitting 205. Kim's hitting 194. Kim had a big hit the other day. Was it yesterday?
Yep.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Had a big hit because Cruz comes up. I really never noticed this about Cruz before, but since he's a Padre, you watch him he swings at everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Why would you throw this guy a strike? And again, I'm not saying that I love Cruz. I love him being on the team. You got bases loaded, nobody out. Take a few pitches, especially when they're in the dirt and they're almost hitting you. Take a few pitches. Mm-hmm. Let them throw you a pitch. You at least can hit a sac fly.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I'm asking for.
Yeah.
But like you said, we were talking about the other day about Mud Grant, how he's basically saying he wished the Padres would hit like the Diamondbacks without saying, he goes, they're not swinging out of their shoes. They're not swinging, their hat's not falling off when they're swinging.
This plain pepper.
Yeah. Wherever the ball's put, that's where they're placing it. And, but again, we're at 500. We're definitely a better team than Arizona. And I think we're still the best team in the National League West. It's just, they're going to start hitting.
Yes.
But to be 12-12 and really not hitting yet, I can't complain.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, if you look at teams like the Phillies who have started off to a dreadful start, Mariners, I mean, there's a few teams that are expected to be good that aren't doing so great. And out of those, I feel like the Padres have hung around 500, even though, to your point, the offense has been terrible. I think after the 9-0, shutout on Friday, I think the run differential for us was -11, which again, when you have a top 4 of Tatis, Soto, Machado, Bogarts, you don't expect to have your run diff be -11.
No, especially when you have fairly good pitching.
Yeah, and again, decent pitching. But the hitting picked up this trip with Tatis getting a couple singles, got his first home run. I know that felt great. But even still, you can tell he's not 100%, but he's hitting the ball. He's making contact, hard contact. But thoughts on Tatis's Tatis return
Well,
so
he
far.
didn't. He had a base running blunder in the first inning, right?
He did. Well, I mean, he's always aggressive on the bases, but yeah, he
Well, again, you got to.
off.
I don't want him to stop being aggressive, but you have to be smart sometimes.
Yeah.
It would have been bases loaded, nobody out, and then
Yeah.
we lost our challenge because, be honest, it was hard. I go, well, they're not going to overturn this. You can't really tell
Yeah.
if he was safe or not.
Yeah.
I get challenging it because you want bases loaded, nobody outs, but it turned out he's out. You lose your challenge, but we ended up scoring 3 runs, which is good. We could have broken the game wide open, but
we should have. But Nola was up. Can we just
No.
talk about how? Let's be positive. I don't want to talk about Nola because he just frustrates the hell out of me. Let's talk about the positive here. To your point, Carpenter 3 for 3, sack fly, 5 RBIs, home run, 2 doubles to different parts of the field. A fantastic series. Another person who had a good series, but he's so hot and cold. His average dropped back down to 205. But Grisham, he was the hero of it was game 1, I believe, of this series, right? And cleared out the base, brought in some runs. But people give Grisham a hard time, but I feel like he is playing better than last year, even though his average isn't quite showing it.
It seems like it doesn't seem like he does strike out looking still. So does Nola. A lot. Well,
Nola
actually,
doesn't do anything, but
a lot of the Padres do it. But defensively, Grisham is so good. It's like, okay, all right, I can live with. The problem with the Padres is they have a lot of guys who think they're power hitters, and they're not. I mean, Kim is not a power hitter.
No.
He might get you 12 homers a year. If he would just, again, when he's hitting his best, he's going the other way with the pitch.
Yeah.
He's swinging out of his shoes. Again, he had that big hit yesterday.
Yep.
I don't think we win the game without that hit.
Yep.
But he just swings so hard
after every swing.
Yeah, he just swings too hard, and again, like Grisham, he's so damn good defensively. If he would just learn to spray the ball around, this is the third year.
Yep.
And like I said, he'll go through a stretch where he's putting the ball in play, but then other times he's like swinging so damn hard. I don't know how he doesn't hurt himself, but
yeah.
Again, I'm not complaining. It sounds like I'm complaining, but they are at 500.
Well, I think it's, again, I think like we said earlier, you're at 500, and it hasn't really clicked, it hasn't gelled. Another person that even though not a huge productive day, but he had the day off yesterday, Manny Machado, still hasn't quite had that breakthrough game for him yet. But I thought, even though there's a lot of outs, I thought his swings looked better today. What was your thoughts?
I think so. He's hitting the ball harder. He went up. He's one that will go the other way consistently. And I thought he had a home run on the one, but just fell a few feet short.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really worried about him. Again, when you're hitting the ball hard, eventually he's just hitting it right at people.
Yeah.
So eventually those balls will start falling. He'll start hitting with power. I mean, it's the power numbers a little concerned about because he's not hitting for power, but he consistently hits 30 to 35 homers a year. He's going to come around, start hitting with power. Soto actually looked pretty good too.
Yeah.
At times. I mean, he had 2 solid hits yesterday.
Yep. Had another one today.
Yeah, so maybe they're slowly starting to come around. It just, maybe Fernando getting in the lineup, you get you a little more pumped up for the bat.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And
Bogarts is just money. He just gets on base every game.
He literally has, I think, 24 games for the Padres in a row, but the streak goes back to last season, which I think he's at 27 or something like that games. I saw some Boston Red Sox fans say it's like the last thing that ties him to Boston. I know, I've seen a lot of things on Twitter and whatnot of people still lamenting that he's not on the Red Sox, but what a pickup for the Padres here. I didn't even expect him to have the start that he has had so far, because usually people come to Petco and just drops off, but he's almost excelled at Petco.
Well, he goes the opposite way. He doesn't overswing. I mean, he's from what I've seen, I mean, he just seems like he goes with the pitch a lot. I mean, he's not perfect. I mean, obviously, but hitting 330, is pretty good when like I said, everyone else around you is at the Mendoza
Yes.
line. It's pretty impressive.
Yep. Yep.
Plus that play he made yesterday
Oh yeah.
in the ninth inning, and then of course
Well,
Cronenworth.
like just playing out.
And I don't like to bring up the the old first baseman, but there were like 3 or 4 plays yesterday Hosmer doesn't make.
Every game there is a play. It's like, oh, Hosmer doesn't make that play.
Yeah, but there were a couple. There was one where I think it was Bogarts bounced it like twice, or maybe it was Kim. Boom, 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 and he scooped it up. I'm like going, yeah, there's no. I mean, you would have Hosmer would be like this, the ball would go by him. Again, not bashing Hosmer, but he just was not great defensively the last few seasons. And Cronenworth is a Gold Glove. He won't win the Gold Glove because he doesn't hit for power, but he's a Gold Glove first baseman. He's a Gold Glove second baseman. He's a Gold Glove shortstop. But we put him at third, I'm sure he'd be a Gold Glover there. I mean, he just is great defensively.
Yeah, no, I agree. He doing a very, very good job. Not only was there a Tatis's return this week, we also had the return of Java Joe, and he did pretty well in his return. Not fully built up yet, but he went 5 innings, 85 pitches, and got the win, I believe. So
yeah, he did get the win. He looked good. Obviously not great. I mean, it's a tune-up game. He's trying to get back in shape, but to get him back, if Snell could start pitching well, Darvish. I looked for the injury to see what it was.
Kevin AC said it was it's hamstring, but it was just a tightness. He's going to be ready for the next game.
Okay.
A right hamstring cramp for you, Darvish. Darvish is expected to make his next start as per AJ Casavel for the next start. And AC had that it was a right hamstring cramp for you, Darvish.
Okay, that's good news. At least it wasn't his arm. I mean, I looked like, okay, at least it's not his arm. But you got to worry about those groin pulls too, because they can be tricky.
Yeah, especially for a pitcher, right? Because your power comes from your legs.
Right. So, but he looked good today.
Yep.
A lot of walks for him. His control is still not pinpoint.
Yep. But my favorite thing for Musgrove this week was the shade he threw Brian Kenny's way on Twitter after Scherzer went down 10-game suspension for discovery of sticky stuff on his hands, and didn't appeal it because I don't know why. Maybe because he.
Well, you know what? You heard what he said.
What did he say?
What's the point?
Yeah.
Again, if you're innocent, I don't care. Even if I'm guilty, I'm appealing it. But if you're innocent, you definitely appeal that. He knew he didn't have a leg to stand on.
Yep. But you know what? Like, for starters, like it doesn't bother me that much. But whatever. But what does bother me is the difference between the East Coast, biased New York media that was, basically not apologizing for Scherzer, but kind of just not coming down hard on him, really.
Well, he didn't call him a cheat without any
on his TV show.
Yeah, I mean, Brian Kenny. I think Brian Kenny is a Mets fan, isn't he?
He is a Mets fan.
I mean, so right there, that your credibility is lost. I mean, again, he should have, when nothing was found out from Musgrove.
He got checked.
He got checked.
He got his hands, his gloves, his ears. He touched his ears.
Everything. He got checked. Nothing was found, and Brian Kenny still went on his show and called Musgrove a cheater.
And if you just watched his actual segment, he heavily implied that he was using sticky stuff to get his RPMs. So heavily implied that he was cheating. But then he's kind of, whatever. But Mad Dog, during their kind of like little segue segment or whatever, Mad Dog just straight up asked him, he's like, so is he a cheater? Just say it. Just say it. And then Brian Kenny's like, yep. So I think all San Diegans are pissed off on Joe's behalf. I know Joe's not going to forget either. But that knucklehead, same there for
I used to like Brian Kenny, but that one thing is like, okay, you called someone a cheater has not been caught for cheating.
Yeah.
you're wrong.
Yeah.
You can't just. I mean,
You still
anyway.
get to like throw that stuff out there without,
No,
because then
because
people are going to assume that's the case.
because people will listen to you because you have a forum. You're on the air. You're a former ESPN guy or whatever.
Or just feeding your Mets fans that watch the
Yeah,
show.
but it's like it just because Mets fans on Twitter were like, "Oh, you got Tatis, he's a cheater, Data. Musgrove, he's a cheater." And then suddenly Scherzer got caught. Well, he denied it.
That's the beauty too. Is I don't mind fans saying that. It's just fans. Fans are annoying. There's plenty
Right.
of annoying
Yeah.
Padre fans. And as the team does better and better, we'll get more of those annoying fans. And I didn't mind Buck Showalter making the move. Right? His team was losing bad, and he's got to try something. And he does that kind of crap. It is annoying, but he's
a win. It's a win. It was a win. It was a win or go home game. So I had no issue with it.
Yeah.
You're trying to throw Musgrove off, but
yeah,
Brian Kenny calling him a cheater. I mean,
yeah, that's the problem for sure. But again, love Musgrove taking a shot there at old Brian Kenny. I don't know if that man will ever show his face in San Diego again, but if he does, he will get some heavy boos.
Oh, he will not be well received. No.
Oh man, Jack. All right, so coming up, we have an off day tomorrow, which is great.
Finally,
we're going to a 3-game series against the Cubbies, and then we go to Mexico City for a 2-game set against the Gigantes. Jack, Cubbies have been playing well, even with Hosmer batting a 66.7% ground ball rate.
To second base.
Yeah, leading the Major League Baseball in ground outs. But thoughts on this Cubs series in Chicago, hitter's paradise.
Well, it depends on the wind.
That's true.
The wind's blowing. It's supposed to be cold because we got a cold front coming in here.
Yeah.
In the end of April.
Yeah.
Which I'm cool with. It keeps my electric bill down. I'm cool with. Anyway, I wasn't trying to do that, but I'll take credit for it. But the Cubs have been playing some good ball.
Yeah.
It's in Chicago. You never know. We should have Snell going, and
there's one loss.
Waka should be going, right?
Oh, that's 2 losses. Damn.
Waka's been a little caca lately, but I think Waka's going to be fine. I have no problem with Waka.
No. Oh, all right.
So and then is it Lugo?
Lugo's probably in there as well. Yeah, because now Weathers and Martinez are in the bullpen as of right now.
Yeah. So Weathers pitched a great game. Goes to the bullpen. Martinez goes 7 shutout innings. Goes to the bullpen. I got to imagine that Weathers is probably. He doesn't have much to say. He's a young kid. I wonder if Martinez couldn't have been happy about having to go.
No, he wanted to be a starter. And with Waka right now, like you do, I think there is a fair argument to be had that Martinez should be there. But even and I'm glad it's not anything major. But with the hamstring cramp for Darvish, I am glad that, or I'm not glad. I was thankful. I was like, oh, well, we got 2 starters in the bullpen, so we can just flip them back out if we need to. Like we have the depth at pitcher to withstand, either going six man or. If somebody needs some time off due to injury.
Well, maybe they're going to go because you got Musgrove has to get back. Darvish isn't in shape yet. Musgrove, maybe they're going to 5-man rotation to get these guys some innings, and then eventually they'll go back to a 6-man rotation, maybe in June sometime.
Well, they even said the reason they went 5 is because they have these off days. They have a lot of off days, so they could do a 5-man with giving the rest that they want to give. And then to your point, once maybe go back to all these off days, you go back to a 6-man. To again, kind of
because I love Martinez in the bullpen.
Because
so right now Suarez has been pushed back to 60 days IL.
Hasn't even pitched yet.
Not even pitched yet. So
hey, pitched a couple of games. He's pitched some games for Lake Elsinore. So
yeah, it's one of those guys that he's been hurt the last 3 seasons.
Hammy trying to get up from the couch, but as of now,
he's gonna have. I hope he comes back because a healthy Pomerantz is good for us.
Yes.
But I'm not gonna celebrate till I see him come back and pitch some innings and and stuff. But Suarez, I hope it's not one of these things where they go, oh well, he has to have Tommy John surgery, and they do it in July and August. And again, I don't know what's wrong with him. It hasn't come out. I saw Maury Holmes was doing some pitching.
Yep.
So he might come back. So then that's another lefty reliever.
Yep.
So I maybe if you get another lefty reliever, you don't have to throw Tim Hill every single game.
Exactly.
But with Martinez in there, Martinez could be your eighth inning guy.
Yeah.
Because Garcia, right now, I have no confidence in Garcia.
No.
Greatest stuff on the team. At least he's in the top 3, but he can't. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is with him.
Up here.
But
Honeywell's kind of looks like he's become our Nabil Krismat replacement, just in terms of innings eater. Has done solid, even they had the back-to-back homers today. But still happy for him making that return.
His balls were a little up today.
Yeah.
I guess, the pitches were a little up today, I should say.
That's what she said. Well, you did say it was getting cold.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm excited. 12-12.
12-12. I'll take it. And we'll see where we go from here. Hopefully, get 2 out of 3 from the Cubbies. And the Giants stink. So hopefully, we can take 2 out of 2 from the San Francisco Giants.
Depends if we have to face Webb or not.
Webb's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, Webb's pretty good.
He's got the juice flowing for him for sure.
Are those home games for the Padres?
They are home games.
Okay.
So
that's good because then the people will be excited for our Padres.
Yeah, I mean, I think between the two, if it was the Dodgers Padres, maybe more of a mix, but I feel like Padres should have more fans than the Giants. But I would think I don't know.
Well, in Arizona, it seems to be a lot of Padre fans there.
Well, yeah, a lot of people from San Diego have moved to Arizona, 1, and then 2, I think it's a relative
short drive,
distance. Yeah.
Well, you have the also they had a big crowd on Saturday. I don't know about today, but was it Friday night? You can actually hear when you can hear one fan trying to start, "Let's go D-backs." Let's go. There's not a lot of people in the stands, and plus they play like regular music. And it just sounds so stupid. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
No, I agree. Plus, you have the Phoenix Suns in the playoffs, so I'm sure.
True.
Not as much, even though the Diamondbacks are playing well. But who knows? Mexico City. Like, the thing is, even for San Diegans, I don't think people realize how far away Mexico City is from San Diego. It's not like, even though San Diego is like literally right on the border, the stadium's probably 10 minutes from the Mexican border. It's Mexico City is far ways away from there.
Yeah.
So,
well, hopefully the turf is good because I know the NFL was complaining.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's probably a different stadium, but the NFL was complaining the turf was terrible.
Yeah. Well,
kind of like the Super Bowl.
Fingers crossed. I remember the last time we played in Mexico. That was after it was a 99, was it?
Has it been that long?
That's the last time I remember. Maybe they've played since then. They probably have. But the last one we're watching was in 99. I think Andy Ashby pitched.
Okay,
if I remember correctly.
That is a long time ago.
He
actually still looks pretty young.
He does. I'm not going to say the ones that don't, but anyway. That will do it.
All the other ones.
For this episode of Padres Talking Padres, great way to close out the week and their first series on this away trip. Road trip? Jeez, these words are hard. So anyway, Brian Kenny, go to hell. And
hey, Brian Kenny.
We'll see you soon. Until next time, hasta luego. And goodbye.
Arrivederci.